Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Actually, if your child's listening to this, tell them to go away because this is an explicit show. So, but anyway, we do appreciate you listening to us on this beautiful Saturday. You listen to Vets on Sports with myself, JD, Brent, Joel, Mr. Clean, Aaron Davis. Thanks for coming in today, guys. I know it's a beautiful day today. I might actually play some golf tomorrow. And
must be nice.
I'm thinking about it. You
got your glutes loose and explosive for your golf match?
I don't even know what that means.
Mine are activating.
My glutes. That's nasty. So yeah, I mean, there's a little bit to talk about today. There's a lot of stuff going on tonight. We got a game we got to go to tonight. GCU against Utah Valley. We're going to check that out. GCU currently number 2 in the WAC. That's just whack. Not bad. Not bad. So, Brent, why don't we go ahead and let's jump into some of these headlines. What do we got?
Well, we got the NBA All-Star game coming up. Our events, but a lot of people are really saying the only thing that, and again, we can all kind of give our opinion on this, but a lot of people are just mentioning that they're only looking forward to the 3-point shooting, like the NBA, like the dunk contest. Obviously, not what it once was, but
Dr. J went off on it too, saying mascots are destroying the dunk contest. I just think that the props are destroying the dunk contest and the way they changed the rules.
Well, Dr. J can say whatever he wants. He's the greatest dunker of all time.
Right. But I agree with him to a certain point, but I think it expands more than that. It don't bring out chairs. Drake needs to keep his happy ass home.
Leave the cars in the parking lot.
Yeah, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's getting ridiculous to me. I don't like the team aspect to it. I don't like any of that.
I think they got rid of that though.
Did they? I don't like that. I mean, okay, yeah. Sorry, there's crazy women in the window trying to distract us. All right, so yeah, I don't really like that stuff. I mean, Joel, what do you think?
Yeah, I'm not I used to watch the NBA dunk contest a while ago, but then I just think that they've kind of exhausted every possible option that they could do.
What do you mean? Joel's going to watch the replay of the 1972 World Series Game 4 on MLB Network tonight.
It is on tonight?
I did want to touch on something about baseball. I know it's not on the headlines. So they're talking about shortening the strike zone, and this should be a segment, but
we talked about it before you got here.
But we didn't do it really on the air.
No, that we didn't.
Okay. So I'm confused. Okay. They want more runs, but they want to shorten the game.
Right.
How do you do that?
Yeah, this is probably the worst idea if they want to try to accomplish both of it, because I mean, some of it is, I mean, there's going to be a lot more walks happening,
Mm-hmm.
if they shorten up the strike zone. And then that will take.
Then you're going to be looking at
game.
3.5-hour games in the NL and 4.5 in the AL.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the one thing that I didn't really think about until like this morning when we were talking about before we went on, the issue with pitch count.
Mm-hmm.
If you're shortening the strike, or if you're limiting the strike zone, like you said, there's going to be more walks. It's going to take pitchers maybe more pitches to hit the strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to be seeing less and less pitchers. I mean, now it's like if you can give me 7, now it's like 6 innings, but I always want my starter to give me 7. If you're crapping out like in the late 5th or 6th because you're already at 90 pitches in 4 3/3 innings pitched, I've got a problem with that.
Right.
Because, I mean, before you've been like, oh, go ahead and throw 200 pitches back in the day when there was no pitch count, plus the mound was higher.
Right.
But they were mentioning that hitters are striking out like in ridiculous amounts, or in terms of what it was 20 years ago, the amount at bats per strikeout has gone through the roof, and there's less and less home runs. Like you mentioned, JD, they want more runs, but it's like almost like that's ass backwards. You're going to give me, you want more runs, but you're limiting the place where the ball needs to be for contact.
To me, that's kind of like batting practice where they go, where do you want it? I want it right here.
Exactly.
Because when they're shortening the strike zone, that's pretty much right. I want it right here.
Right. And pitchers aren't going to give in to a player's,
right?
To a player's strength. We're at a point now, and I think baseball really needs to just kind of embrace this, but we're at a point right now where we're in pitchers are so much more advanced than batters right now. I mean, all the top prospects in the league are pitchers. I mean,
All right. Well, we'll come back to this
Yeah.
a little bit later on because we will be talking a little bit
Bit
about pitchers and
sidetracked.
catchers here later on. But you like how I just completely destroyed the whole pre-show meeting and just threw that one in there?
yeah.
Love it. All right. So great effort on the pre-show headlines. What else we got for ahead? Charles Barkley.
Being Charles.
Being Charles. This isn't
It's just Charles in
surprising.
charge. I mean, I'm not really surprised. I mean, but apparently he mouthed off a little bit on the mic.
I really don't.
But everyone
I
knows he's a
don't.
straight shooter. Always has been. He'd be the one that's going to tell you his mind. Always does.
Mhm. And then we got Tyler Sagan getting injured. Dirty shot. Aaron, you want to chime in on that one?
I don't think it was dirty. It
But
wasn't.
you don't like
What's the
Sagan.
league saying? Why is the league saying it was dirty?
The league is he's going to get suspended, but that's because they're going to suspend him for anything at this point because it's player safety. It was a hip check. His form was awful, but I don't think it was an intent to injure. It's just bad.
Was that the one
form.
that was that the one
He-
at center
he went-
ice?
his
went down low?
ass hit him in the thigh, and
Oh,
that's where
I
you
did
hit
s-
with a hip check.
I did see that.
His head was almost touching the ice because I think he was expecting him to roll over his back like normally happens with a hip check, and it didn't happen.
Did you see the hit, JD?
No, I didn't.
I'll try and pull it. It was a good smash, good
Was it?
collision.
It was an old school
I
hip
like
check. I
Sagan.
think he just missed.
I think he's one of the young players that I like in the league. You know, unfortunately, he's going to be a little woozy from this point forward, but you know, it'll be all right. Be all right. Tigers taking
Hold
a
on,
break.
before we get off that game real quick. There was another hit.
Whatever happened to real quick?
Because it's real quick. One of the Panthers went to go check Vern Fiddler and just totally whiffed and went into the bench. It was,
I love those.
it was great. And then
I love
later
those
the
ones.
scoreboard put up like they put the end of period stats, the shots, goals, and face-offs, whatever. The bottom one they put players into the bench, 0 and 1.
That's awesome, man. I wish you could have got a picture of that one, dude. So, Tigers taking a break. I agree on it. I think it's okay. The guy's been playing for 19 years in the pros. I mean,
Always
you gotta
always a
step
high
back.
level.
Yeah.
And-
So, I mean, people just need to let Tiger go. The fact of the matter is, even if he played this weekend, people would be watching him and he would draw a crowd. So I'm okay with him saying, I just need to step back because these 2 or 3 days between, screwing up around and then having to be, at the beginning of the next tournament, it's not working for me for practice. So he's going to step back. He's going to retool and he'll be back.
Yeah, but the season just started. I mean, it's like saying in week 2 of the NFL, I'm taking a break.
First
It's
off, we haven't even got to Carmelo yet, but I'm okay with that because he wants to be back and he wants to be ready for like Augusta. All
Well,
right? He
I
wants to be
think
playing at
he's-
top form for Augusta.
But what it sounds like though is he's not practicing as much as he used to. He's uninterested, I would say.
Okay, but when you say it sounds like, this is your assumption.
No, this is what people are reporting. I am obviously not reporting because I don't follow golf all that much. I'm
Okay,
just
so
seeing
cite
other
your
people do.
source.
It was on CBSSports.com.
Oh,
I
that
don't
explains
know.
it.
But my point is I'm just wondering if he
Ooh.
cares that much.
I think he does in the sense that being that he comes out and says, I'm not returning until I've got my stuff down. I mean, that's clearly admitting that something is, he mentioned 2 terms ago that he was still having a hard time working out this new swing. He's been engaging. So,
I'm okay with it.
I mean, it's
granted,
almost like him admitting, yeah, I've got some problems and I got to fix this before I come back here and completely humiliate myself.
I think what he said was, I'm taking a break to fix my game and spend time with people I love.
Okay.
So it's kind of which one are you doing? He just had a 3-month off.
You're not
season.
going to do no, he didn't.
Yeah, he did.
Dude, he was playing down in friggin' South America. Dude, there were tournaments like all over the place. Just because it's winter here doesn't mean it's winter elsewhere. In Australia, the Australian tournament that he played in, yeah, when it's our winter, it's their summer.
Yeah, but he
Right.
said he's not playing in those tournaments like he used to now. He's
Well-
focusing on the PGA.
He's like 40 years old, dude.
I think maybe he's too no joke. I know it's Valentine's Day, but I think he's maybe too much in love with Lindsey Vonn and wants to spend
Nothing
time with
wrong
her.
with that. Brent, anything wrong with that?
She has a giant head.
But no, I don't have a problem with that. One thing I thought was interesting is one guy this on one of the sports channels I listened to kind of get some different feedback. It's like, you know what? Take your break. take a break from Lindsey Vonn. Go out there and find your 30, 40 women. Get back to the Tiger that need whatever you need to do to get it
that's
back.
not going to happen.
He's just like,
I think he'll probably end up getting married to her. In which case, that'll put him in the class with only Tom Brady of having an awesome power couple.
How much money do you make?
I still think Zach and Kelly are better.
You actually make quite a bit of that stuff.
I'm sorry. The winner's always Peekaboo Street to me.
I'm moving on. All right. So that's Tiger. So I'm okay with him taking a break. I think he'll retool, and I think he'll come back and he'll play really well in Augusta. All of the experts are saying what's wrong with Tiger can be fixed in minutes. Because he changed up his swing.
We're done with Tiger.
So slightly. Shut up. He fixed up his swing so slightly that he just needs to figure out that one slight change that's going to bring it back. So, but until that happens, he shouldn't be on the golf course, whether it's his back or his knees or whatever.
There's a real easy fix too. He can just get the robot legs like his robot head.
Top-notch commentating. Right
he's already a part cyborg.
Dynamite drop him, Bonnie.
I don't know if that was racist or not. He might be. Who knows?
To cyborgs?
Yes. Is cyborg a race? It should be.
Soon.
Moving on. What else we got, man? Oh, Jackie Robinson.
Yeah.
Jackie Robinson, Little
League. I mean, I think this is really funny. Reverend Jesse Jackson is now getting involved in this. And I think it's so funny how they're actually going to go and get they hire an attorney for this. You clearly broke the rules. He had old. Now, this kind of it's a little personal issue to me because turn back your clocks maybe about 20 years, the Long Beach Little League All-Stars who had 13-year-olds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm a little pissed because they beat us to go to the World Series.
Right. Nobody came to their rescue. The president wasn't saying anything.
No. And we were all like
race thing.
It's like, well, we were a bunch of 12-year-olds and we got beat by 13-year-olds and we went home and they didn't. But it's just kind of funny how you're seeing another thing. They were talking about this the other day and they're putting 100% on like the parents, not the kids, because I mean, one guy made a really good analogy of this in the sense that when let's say that you and I are in the same community and we bring in someone that's from another division into it's like one guy was like, well, isn't it kind of weird that it takes you and I 5 minutes to get here, but when we talk about when practice is over, you're saying it takes you an hour and a half to get home. Like the kids, they don't understand that in terms of where you live. It's the parent because everyone lives around the same neighborhood. Everyone hangs out together, but the 3 or 4 kids that are older that are brought in from the outside the division, the kid they don't understand what it means when they're saying, well, it takes me 45 minutes to get to the field. Like, well, why does it? Well, because I live clear out over there. The kid, they don't understand that, but the parents, they sure as hell know what's going on.
Oh yeah, they know.
And they came and find birth certificate. It's almost like they're like no birth certificates. You can have no proof of your kids being that age. But it's like one of those things. If are you not cheating? Are you not trying?
Aaron, this is the new gate. It's literally gate.
No, it's not because it's baseball. Only in football does it get the gate.
Does it get the gate? Football only for the Patriots does it get the gate. We don't say wife beater gate.
Jeez,
yeah,
that stepped it up a notch.
No,
but you had noise gate. You had noise gate for the freaking Falcons.
Yeah. And you made a good point though with the whole gate thing.
It's just lazy.
Yeah, it is because it's unoriginal. Because like you said, Watergate wasn't the water scandal. Watergate was the damn name of the hotel. These people are idiots.
And surely we should blame Forrest.
But we as media and as fans, we're just as much to blame because we cling on to that.
Oh, and we want a clever name for it.
We run with it. We don't come up with a new name. We're just like, that's it. Run with it. Put it in the print. Do whatever you have to do.
Before you know it, like with UFC, it's going to be the overweight gate,
right?
or something like that. Couldn't cut weight gate.
The fat gate.
Yeah.
The fat hotel. I don't know, man. That's just.
But it's just weird that this is getting so much publicity and how much it's just like, well, dude, you clearly cheated. Shut up.
I don't see what Jesse Jackson would have to do anything to do with Little League baseball. I don't see it.
I think it's just him being involved.
I think we need Ivan to chime in on that.
Yeah. Ivan hasn't been around in a while. But I have respect for Jesse Jackson. I don't think I've ever shared this, but when we were in Bosnia, a couple of our soldiers got taken on the Macedonia-Kosovo border. and this was when Clinton was in.
Okay.
And Jesse Jackson actually went over
To Bosnia.
and he went to Kosovo.
Oh, really?
Actually, technically, he went to Sarajevo. Not Sarajevo, but I think it was Pristina in Kosovo. But he sat down with the Serbian leaders and said, this is what I picture him saying, look, you want the white man to really get pissed off? Give the prisoners to me. And they did. They released prisoners of war to Jesse Jackson. What?
That's a hell of an angle.
They did, but that's the only thing I could possibly say that would make any sense on why they would even. I mean, he has no political power. He doesn't make any government decisions. He can't get them anything. I can get you more weapons, or you
I think
more
it's
money,
just to get
more
publicity.
food, whatever.
Just publicity.
He just went over there, and they said, "Here you go." What? Way to have a backbone, sir. I mean, granted, I'm grateful that we got our soldiers back. But seriously, he basically just said, "Hey, I'm Jesse Jackson. Here you go." What? What? All right, moving on. I always found that funny. I mean, what the hell did he say that had them release prisoners of war to a guy that has no political stance whatsoever in the United States? I never understood that. I mean, again, don't misunderstand me. I'm absolutely grateful that he did that. And I'm sure the soldiers are too. But really? Way to have a backbone, Serbia. This reverend came in and he introduced himself and he said a prayer with us. And so we gave him, which is funny because the war in Bosnia was a religious war. It was a race war. They were trying to ethnically cleanse the Albanian Muslims. So we send over a man that, and this is totally off topic, but I think it was funny because we send over a man that is mostly known for his religious faith and using the words of the Bible to be able to preach and be able to lead. And he goes over and says whatever. I seriously doubt he cracked open the Bible while he was over there. So I'm still trying to figure out what the hell
probably
did
just
he
a
say?
smooth talker.
That's what I'm saying. But I mean, first off, again, grateful.
I mean, you could
That wasn't his job.
You could send Don King over there. He could probably do the
Don
same
King
thing.
would have been awesome. He said, look, why don't we go ahead and put these wars on hold? I will promote it, and then we'll put it on TV live.
Prime time.
Prime time. We'll turn it into a pay-per-view.
Your local basketball
Sunday. Borders clash.
Your local basketball game has been moved to C-SPAN.
All right, so moving on, man.
Have you seen the Aaron posted it up on the website?
First ASU beat U of A last week in
Maybe on top of
basketball.
things.
Yes, we did.
I posted that like as soon as it happened.
Oh, that was so nice, especially where I have to sit in my section of the
And U of A
office.
turned down our media credentials, or ASU had to turn it down because U of A brought 20 reporters with them. They had more reporters than there are basketball players and coaches on that staff.
I would have loved to have been
So
able
there
to-
were no room for us.
Yeah, we were supposed to be there.
We were supposed to be there, got turned down. So I hope all 20 of them got a front row seat to getting their ass kicked. No offense. I just think that was hilarious. That was the response. I go, look, I can't. U of A is bringing 20 people with them. There's only so much room in the media box. 20 people is pretty much a media box.
Yeah, I haven't been in Wells Fargo's press box yet, but I can't imagine being any bigger than
No.
like the D-backs.
The D-backs have a huge press box. So and so does an ASU, but not on the basketball court.
Must have been a quiet,
Basketball court, it's small.
probably been a quiet bus drive home.
All 20 of them, right? We lost. Recap, never.
But the other thing we were talking about is the curtain of distraction.
Did you see that?
Oh, I love that.
That is beautiful.
That is awesome. I
It's
love that.
It's incredible, the creativity.
Yep. Fans, if you've never watched an ASU game, you got to catch an ASU game when they're at home. They have what this called is the curtain of distraction, which is a black curtain, two black curtains, where they'll open them up and the fans are just doing this crazy ass stuff just to try and get people to Yeah, and while we're watching it right now, just try and get people to.
Yeah,
Mess
they're
up
not.
on their
They're
free
not doing
throws.
anything. They're not.
There's
they're
no
not-
talent
yeah,
behind this. It's basically them just doing stupid
Yeah,
stuff.
but they're not. It's not like they're throwing anything. I mean, it's literally just distractional type stuff. I mean, look at this guy, the ball and chain. The bait,
oh,
the
oh,
bait.
that's it. Oh man, that's just.
But when you,
I didn't need to see that. That was
but I mean, literally, if
that was a grown man.
if you're, I think it's brilliant because how many times you get down to a position like what was the ASU U of A game was decided by 3 points?
Yeah,
Well, if it comes down,
Yeah, and
you got to post that on our page now that everybody.
Oh,
I did this morning.
yeah, it is posted
Wow.
on the page. So definitely go. It's still, I think it's posted under JD's Rockin' Sports, but
Yeah, we're working on that. By the way, real quick note for those of you that follow us on JD's Rockin' Sports, we will be we won't be shutting that one down, but we will be creating the new Vets on Sports page, which we are transitioning to, so that way our national coverage can be recognized more than just our regional coverage. So we'll definitely be doing that here within the next 2 weeks. The website will be different. Similar setup, different logos, stuff like that, and a different page. It'll be vetsonsports.com. So with that little house cleaning note,
Well, real quick before we move on from the ASU thing,
we didn't even really talk about the Little League too much, but okay.
well, they do they did a study and shown that ASU's home court advantage, I guess, the opposing free throws are down 1 to 2 points per game. And they're saying it's because of the curtain of distraction. It's right in the line. It's just left of the hoop,
Yeah.
just below. If you're
It's
looking at it,
eye
the
level.
bottom left corner, if you went straight down, that's where it would be if you were shooting the free throw, looking at the basket. So you'll see it sometimes because they'll show
Yeah,
like the guy shooting.
they were actually talking about it. While I was watching the U of A game, they were talking about it during the free throws, and they had a pretty good camera on them. The announcers were rolling.
Well, and it's funny because they'll like zoom in on the guy's face and put his
Funny
stats
'cause
under
he's
there
fat.
when they
What?
shoot it, and the two guys behind him are laughing.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
just like cracking up
Yeah,
because they can see the whole thing too.
yeah, yeah. That's funny. You got to give it to ASU for coming up with that. That's pretty good. The curtain of distraction.
I mean, hell, if Seattle's gonna have a Legion of Boom, why can't we have a curtain of distraction?
There you
You know what I
go.
mean?
Yeah, Seattle's more the Legion of Thud now. No longer Boom, just Thud. Sorry. Moving on. Marshawn Lynch thinking about calling it quits. He's actually thinking about retiring at the age of 20. Well, he turned 29 this year. There is a rumor that that's one of his options. So I'm guessing that came up, or his camp came up with that to try and get people to spend a little bit more, offer a little bit more for him to stay. So I still think he's a good running back. I have a lot more respect for him now after I watched that video of him and Gronk playing Mortal Kombat. That shit was hilarious.
He's like,
whoa! He goes, what the fuck was that? Again, explicit lyrics on our show, but I thought that was absolutely hilarious. Then the face that he made afterwards.
He spoke more during that game of Mortal Kombat than he's done in any interview all year.
Yeah, dude, I thought that was absolutely hilarious. That was awesome.
He's due what, $7 million?
$7 million if he stays.
But they've got to pay Russell Wilson.
They have to pay Wilson. They got a lot of people they have to pay. That's
they've got
the
a lot
problem.
of payouts to make.
With coming up, the problem that Seahawks are now coming up with is all of these young studs that basically came in together because they did one hell of a recruiting job. They did. I'll get hats off to them for that. They're all coming up to the end of their contracts within like 2 years. So they can't just continue to deal out, top-notch contracts year after year after year. Somebody's going to get a pay cut or somebody's leaving. That's the only way it is. It's going to happen. If you're going to stay, you're taking a pay cut. If not, you're leaving. So I wonder if Seattle ownership, they're going to pay Wilson. They have to pay Wilson. That should be number one priority, because who else are you going to go to if Wilson leaves?
I don't even know who their backup
Well,
is.
he's still under contract for a year, but he's
under
in
his
that,
rookie contract.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he's in that group that if you exceed all the check marks, you're eligible to be get a raise.
Right.
Because he'll make $800,000 this year.
He hit all his
this-
bonus. Marks.
Yeah, I mean, you win a Super Bowl, that's all of them.
You take him back
That's
again.
the big
then-
one.
But
So,
here's the problem. As good as he is, he's one of the only scrambling quarterbacks out there in the group that I call scrambling with him, RG3, Cam Newton, maybe just a couple others, that is actually an okay quarterback. I'm not buying into anybody else. I'm not buying into Geno Smith and neither of the Jets. I'm not buying into the guy up in Buffalo.
Manuel.
Yeah, EJ Manuel. You're not buying into him now. You're not buying into Cam Newton anymore. His rookie year, that whole surprise. RG3, you're not buying into. Nobody's buying into.
Well, for RG3, the reasons why you shouldn't be a scrambling quarterback in the NFL is the reason why he no longer is.
Because of the injuries.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is. And the funny thing is, the top 5 prospects that are coming out this year in the draft
Our mobile quarterback.
are all mobile quarterback. Baylor, Oregon, Florida State, Cincinnati, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, they're all scrambling quarterbacks. And Halliday, who's my favorite quarterback in the entire draft, isn't on anybody's top 10 list. So yeah, he's going to end up being like a 4th or 5th round pick, and he'll probably be the best quarterback out there in the entire draft. To be honest with you, that's just my opinion. But because it's a pocket passing league, it's not a rushing league. You know, the triple option doesn't exist in 90% of the teams.
Well, hell, I didn't really even make a comeback until like Seattle started
Right?
running.
The Wildcat is dead.
Yeah.
That's gone unless Miami decides to try and use it again this year.
well, I would disagree with you. The Wildcat maybe, but there's been a lot of option passes.
But
There were two or
it had
three
been
this
missing
year.
in NFL for so long. It came back 3 years ago.
They came back when the Dolphins brought it back against the Patriots in that one game, and they still finished in 3rd that year in the AFC East. So much for that hype. All right, so moving on. We got to take a break right now,
Yeah, I was
right?
gonna say I think we're up on.
Yeah, we're up on a break. Let's go ahead and take a break real quick. We'll be back with NFL talk.
Would you like to own a thriving business and help employ local veterans? The Vetraplex Handyman Construction and Landscape business is the opportunity you've been waiting for. The Vetraplex is your gateway to an affordable startup business with 0% financing for qualifying owners. By owning a Vetraplex franchise, you will be hiring veterans, providing them both income and opportunity, while at the same time providing your customers a way to say, thank you for your service to our nation's veterans. For more information, visit vetraplex.org. Again, that's vetraplex.org or call 928-284-2022.
To bring it back down. Breaker, 1-9. How about that bandit? You got them ears on, son?
Have you ever wanted to be a truck driver? If so, pay attention. If not, pay attention anyway. Southwest Truck Driver Training offers everything you need to get started. You can get hired before you begin training. They've got GI Bill approved training facilities, day, night, or weekend programs.
I just think
to fit
he's an
your busy
idiot.
schedule. If you have any questions, no sweat. They've got veteran supportive campuses with veterans on staff to serve you. And on top of that, they have lifetime job placement assistance. Put the pedal to the metal. Call Southwest Truck Driver Training today.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures and how stressful they can be. Let Tom Capstrom Law Firm and his dedicated staff take the stress and worry out of a difficult situation by calling him today. We feel so strong about the work that Tom and his staff are doing that he'll be a monthly guest on the show. Tom is a veteran and a listener, for God's sake, so you know the guy is solid and will fight for you. Give Tom a call today by calling 417-864-0552 or email Tom at capstromlaw.com. And don't forget to tell him that Vets On sent you.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertising.
If you or someone you know is looking for a new job or career, you need to visit the pros. National Career Fairs at ncfairs.com. National Career Fairs hosts over 300 career fairs a year nationwide. The events are free and give you the perfect chance to meet some of the top employers in your area face to face. To find the nearest career fair to you, visit ncfairs.com. Again, that's ncfairs.com. What are you waiting for?
Girl, I've been thinking about us, and you know I ain't good at this stuff. But these feet
You're killing me.
enough.
Shut that shit off. The hell's wrong with you?
I guess we should probably let listeners know we are going for
It's
a
Valentine's Day, man.
Valentine's Day theme.
Yeah, that makes me want to put a shotgun in her mouth.
Good Lord.
After I drink a whole fifth of tequila.
That's right.
And then me and my dog going to take the truck up the hills.
Go find that milkman that keeps leaving cheese on our door.
Granted, I love country music. I do.
There's your downfall.
Because when I used to do those types of weddings, they would pay the most because they got drunk so quick.
Oh, hell yeah.
They didn't know how much they were tipping. As long as you played a good song, 20, 50, hundreds. Yeah. I'd charge $1,500 for the gig and I'd walk home with like $4,000. Jesus. All right. So much love for my country rednecks. I know how to do the white boy two-step in the redneck shuffle. Moving on. RG3, man. Look, I don't think this is that much of a story. I think they just need to leave RG3 alone. All right. For a fan to go off on him in the off season,
Maybe for
in
some of the listeners,
February.
maybe for the listeners who don't know what's going on, once you explain kind of the issue.
He tweeted a video of him singing Billie Jean.
Yeah, Instagram video.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and a fan went off on him talking about this is why you're no longer a leader, yada, yada, yada. Shut the hell up.
Anything to get a story or a
The
a
season's
rant
only
on-
been over for a month. This is called the off season because you're off.
Well, people are knuckleheads. So there's idiots on all social media. They're going to chime in. The problem is he responded to it. You just have to let it go.
I understand his frustrations. First off, he didn't get explicit. I would have went all explicit on his ass.
Well, the fan made some comments, talking about how he comes from a military family and he should act more professional and some things.
Yeah, and this was from a supposed military guy that did the tweet.
I mean,
that wrote it on his Instagram.
I think RG3. I agree with the guy.
I don't,
because do you see Tom Brady doing this?
Tom Brady is out at friggin' fancy ass balls with his hot wife.
Where's Peyton Manning?
He's probably doing a State Farm commercial.
Where's Andrew Luck?
I don't know, shaving his beard.
But that's my point. Is the guys where's Russell Wilson? None of these guys that are the best in the league are making knucklehead
Russell
videos.
Wilson makes friggin' commercials once a week.
I'm not talking about commercials. I'm talking about on social media, playing around on it, trying to grow your brand.
Gronk's one of the best players in the entire NFL. When's the last time you didn't see him on social media?
Not a quarterback.
Doesn't matter. He's still a leader on the team.
Your quarterback is your leader.
I would disagree on some teams.
And if you have an elite quarterback, they're not going to
like on the Niners. I would say Gore's more of a leader than Kaepernick. You agree, Joel? Niner
Truth.
fans? Thank you.
Hashtag.
Right, but this is the same thing that Kaepernick would do, and that's why he's never going to be a top quarterback in the league.
Dude, it's the offseason. These people have their own lives.
And they have their own lives. That's fine, but you still want to present yourself as a professional always.
No, have some fun. All right? Yeah, allow the guy to have some damn fun. And wasn't he doing that for like some sort of a charity thing for kids?
No, he was going to go work out. That was his thing. I'm dancing to MJ on the way to the gym, I think was the quote. Something like that.
So what's wrong with that?
Just saying.
What's wrong? He
Nobody's
was
going to
on
talk
his way
about
to the
dancing.
gym.
Nobody's going to talk about dancing. You're just not going to see an elite quarterback do that.
Really?
I think
Tom Brady took time out to star in the new Ted 2 movie.
great. That's a movie.
But
It's
still,
not social media.
you're talking about elite quarterbacks not doing certain things, but everything that I'm mentioning takes days or weeks of concentration in order to do. He took 30 seconds, not even, because you can't put a 30-second video on Instagram. It has to be 15 seconds.
And Tom Brady won a Super Bowl, so he could do cartwheels down the road
But
for
this
all I
isn't-
care, because it
if-
doesn't matter because he wins. RG3 doesn't win, so he has no right to do anything.
All right, I got to do this now, man. You got to make me do this. Hold on. Oh, my God. So stupid.
What?
I guarantee you there are 50 other things wrong with the Washington Redskins other than their quarterback play.
I'm not saying
Guarantee
I'm
it.
not saying they're all. The team isn't awful.
That's the
My-
problem, though.
My point is if you win, you can do stupid things.
He is a winner. He won a national championship. Did he? With Baylor? I thought he did.
I don't know if it was a
I
national.
think that was Alabama that year. He won a Heisman.
There you go. Hey, that's a winner.
Oh, there's a lot of those that were very unsuccessful in the NFL.
Nobody's
Matt-
attacking
ask
Johnny
Matt Leinart.
Manziel. Nobody's attacking Johnny Manziel. Heisman winner.
I will.
Oh, you will.
Everybody will attack Manziel, especially this guy over here in the corner.
That's me. For all you listeners,
That's what I'm saying, though. No fans are going off on him on Twitter.
If
he's
Tom,
in rehab.
if Tom Brady did a video on his Uggs showing them off and singing and dancing, I'd say great. How many Super Bowl rings does he have?
Oh, okay. So in order to have any part of a human lifestyle, you have to have rings to do it.
I think what he's saying is to get away with it.
Yeah, to get away with it. You
No,
can do
You
it.
should be able to get away with it anyway. I mean,
Yeah,
shit,
well,
otherwise,
right.
why the hell? What freedoms are we friggin' fighting for?
No, you're right.
This is a damn game.
No, but
It's a game.
You're right. We should be able to get away with it, but like, the media is always going to find something to.
No, it's not the media. It's the fans.
Yeah, and that's just
But
it. Is if
This
you're
is a
paid,
damn game. This is like people that threaten players over social media because their fantasy team sucks.
no, that's completely different.
Leave the people alone.
Leave RG3 alone.
It's a damn game.
Let
That's
my
all it is.
people go.
All right.
Thanks, Moses.
Your Washington Redskins are gonna suck whether he throws for 4,000 yards or 40 because your defense
Yeah, they've
sucks.
got issues.
Your rushing game, your big high paid running back that you have back there finished 28th in the league
I
last year.
paid. You're talking about Alfred Morris?
Yeah, he makes more than RG3 does. Why the hell isn't he getting put up
I
on
don't
this?
think that's true.
Why don't we see pictures of him in the gym?
Because he drives a 1993 Honda Accord.
No, he doesn't.
Because he's grounded like a normal person. But the
Oh,
point is
God.
if I'm a fan, I'm paying big money to go see my team.
You're going to watch a game.
right.
You're going
but
to
I'm
be
but I'm
entertained.
spending my money that I worked hard to get.
Switch teams.
I want to have a team that's trying to win, and I don't know if he's trying to win.
Switch
He
teams.
cares more about RG3 than the Redskins. That's the point.
I would switch teams then. If you want to take it that seriously, become a Patriots fan or something.
I stopped liking the Redskins when Mark Rippon left.
This is absolutely ridiculous.
Mark Rippon.
It is. It's absolutely stupid that a fan gets pissed off about this.
All right, next.
Kirk Cousins had a worse stats than RG3 did. Nobody's talking about Cousins.
Because he's getting ran out of town on a rail.
So be happy that you got RG3 for right now.
I'd be happy I have Colt McCoy. He was the best of the bunch last year.
You are out of your damn mind. You are out of your mind. He barely threw 1 for 1. 1 touchdown, 1 interception.
Who?
Cole McCoy. That was his average. For every 1 touchdown, he threw an interception.
I think that was the best of the bunch.
I thought that was Cutler.
No, Cutler
Actually,
actually had a
1 and
decent
2.
season last year.
Well,
Cole McCoy was 39th ranked quarterback in the league last year. 39th.
I think Colt McCoy helped me beat you in the playoffs.
whoops.
No. Just because you had him on your team doesn't mean
I
he was
started
the one
him that
did it.
1 week, I think.
Just because you had him on your team doesn't mean he was the one that did it.
I'd like to thank old Six Gun Salute, Colt McCoy.
39th ranked quarterback in the NFL. He has a habit of liking bad quarterbacks. That's why Josh McCown doesn't even have a team right now.
I know, it's sad. But he'll be the
Six
Bears
shooter.
quarterback next year.
No, he won't. Not at 56% completions. He's not.
All right, next.
Leave the guy alone. You're allowed to have your own life.
Joel, talk about Harbaugh.
What about him?
Well, he's been.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Yeah.
Well, no, like they were talking in terms of like, well, It's not that we didn't come to terms. It was I was forced out, or I didn't have an option to return. It's like you're not going to be the coach next year.
Yeah, I heard that, and I agree. I do agree with him. I think that the 49ers brass just kind of wanted to flex their muscle a little bit around there, and Harbaugh wasn't having it, and didn't quite necessarily really get along with the brass. They decided, okay, well, we're going to cut ways here.
Who's your new coach?
Jim Tomsula, who was our defensive line coach.
Yeah.
I'm not, and just by the these hires that they made in the off season for their coaching staff and everything, it's a whole bunch of yes men, and I think that just kind of points at that Harbaugh was right when it comes to this, because he butted heads with them and they didn't like it, so they decided to can him, and so then they just like, okay, we're gonna just hire a bunch of people to say yes to us no matter what. So I do agree with Harbaugh on this.
Alrighty then. Yeah, I do too. I mean, the only place where it really works, where an owner speaks his mind, is in Dallas.
Right.
That's it. Well, Robert Kraft's well liked in New England, but he basically leaves day-to-day stuff to Belichick.
Right.
So
yeah, they wanted to take that away from him, even though that it worked for the first 3 years of. I don't understand why they wanted to mess with it, but
right,
they did, and I'm not confident at all for the next few years about my team here. So
you're saying that you guys don't? You mean, and being this is your team, you don't see yourselves being a contender for the West?
No, but I don't see them becoming that much of a contender. I just think that they're going to start declining here really, really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's good for for us Cardinal fans, but I mean, we still got to worry about Seattle over there. But
then again, I am the baseball guy.
I don't think you're going to have much longer to worry about Seattle. I don't. Like I said, I don't see how they can afford. Either their players are going to have to dumb it down so they can take less money,
right,
or they're going to go make their money. I don't see players doing that, declining on purpose. They've got a lot of young studs on that team, and they're all going to want to get paid.
Yep,
this is the way it is.
I think the Rams are going to come up too. If they can get some stability at quarterback.
Their quarterback, they actually already said that they're keeping their quarterback, which is smart.
Well, they're going to try and restructure Bradford's deal.
Yeah, I like the fact that they're going to keep him, and I'll talk about them here in a little bit with my my mock draft, because I think they have the 10th pick this year. So,
but I think they're going to be better, and if they move to LA, they're going to spend some money.
I've been hearing more and more talk about it. Like, I mean, I know we mentioned it as the season went on. Like,
they're building the stadium,
but I've been hearing more and more talk about it.
Doesn't mean the Rams are going.
The guy that owns the land and owns the stadium is the guy who owns the Rams. He's
Yeah,
probably going to move his own team there.
I don't see St. Louis being without a football team.
Why? They didn't have one for a long time.
But they've had one now for quite a while, and they've won Super Bowls there.
And the fans still don't care. They'd rather watch baseball.
Well, that's what happened. Then they need to step up their game. I mean, if you got a bad product on the field, what makes you think just because you moved to LA that same bad product is going to draw more?
Because there's more people.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't mean more people are going to want to go.
But if you have 20% of the people are going to go to the game no matter what,
I think St. Louis is a pretty big city, isn't it?
St. Louis is big, yeah,
and big city. It's pretty highly populated.
Their fans are dedicated to their sports. I mean, if you bring in a winning product, more people are going to come to the stands, and then more people are still.
That's one thing you said is dedication.
Yeah,
and the problem with LA is they have so many other choices within driving distance.
Right.
That if one team sucks, they just go. They go to San Diego.
Look,
they go to San Francisco.
Look at right now in the NBA. They're like, oh,
they go to Oakland.
Clippers.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's like now the Lakers are like, well, when we were riding it in the late '90s and early 2000s, it was all like Clippers. Who
in the late 2000s too?
Yeah,
they won. They won the year after the Celtics beat the Lakers. The Lakers turned around and beat the Celtics.
Right.
So,
but like with LA, everyone always accuses LA's of like, oh, you only like your teams when they're winning. like with St. Louis, I mean, hell, right now the Blues aren't having for hockey, they're not having a very powerful season, but they're selling. I mean, their fans are showing up, and when they even go away for away games, the gentleman I sat next to yesterday in the press box, he was like, you have some of these teams that when their home games are so sold out, they're forced to go to away games just to get to games. And it's no different than the Blues. Like when they travel heavy.
Yeah, I mean, they're loyal. The fans there are very loyal to their team too. I mean, you will hardly meet a fan in St. Louis that is not a Cardinals fan, that's not a Blues fan, that's not a Rams fan. You know, I mean, they are very passionate about their baseball. That is true. Baseball is the number one over there, but they
may have more thing to do with that. Might have something to do with the fact that probably they've had that St. Louis Cardinals organization has had more success, and been around because they've been that's an old team. They're one of the.
And say that they will have a following that will pack this stadium in California is ridiculous. They didn't even pack the Niners' new stadium this year. And it's the Niners.
Well, one, that stadium is huge, and it's in San Francisco. You can't compare San Francisco to Los Angeles. They're different.
But I'm telling you, the new stadium is also going to be huge. All right? But you can shine up a turd. It's still a turd.
You got to think of it this way, though. If you take, say, 20% of the people of St. Louis are going to go to a game, right? So just say 20%.
How many Rams fans came here?
But that's what I'm saying to you. Then you take 20% of LA, there's a lot more people that would go to the game.
I don't think people would pay $150 to $200 for a ticket in order to go see a team that they were never cheering for in the first place.
I think people will treat it like the Cardinals. It's an all-day event. You're going to go over there.
Cardinals fans are loyal because they've been here.
But you're going to go over there. You're going to eat. You're going to spend all day. You're going to tailgate. You're going to hang out with your friends. You're going to do
and that's great for one game. You're going to watch a football game. To do that 8 times.
Right.
That's a lot of money to spend on something that you're really not that interested in.
But you don't have to have all season ticket holders. You can fill it with it.
Fill it with who, though? Are you going to spend $200 to go watch the Rams and sit in the second level? Then the Rams aren't even your team.
Exactly. You're going to have a lot of people that go to see the visiting team. But it still fills the stadium. You still make money off it.
I don't see it, man. I don't think they're going to do it.
I would have a problem with the money factor.
If someone will pay it, it'll be one of the worst decisions they've made because they've tried this whole LA football team with multiple teams, and they keep moving out because people aren't going to see these horrible teams. They'll have just as much luck, or maybe not, if they move the Jaguars there. Well, that's the type of team that you're telling people to go spend $200 to watch.
The Jaguars are going to play more games in London.
My history's a little shady though, but when Madden won those, was he in Oakland as the head coach?
Yeah, he was in Oakland.
It was okay. I mean, I know they went to Oakland, came back to Atlanta, went back to Oakland, but
it was in Oakland.
Okay.
And then they go to San Antonio.
Actually, no,
so
they were the Los Angeles Raiders.
It was?
Yeah, so even after winning, they got kicked out.
I just know
with Howie Long on the team and Marcus Allen and Hall of Famers left and right. They still left.
I just know my dad hated it because at that time he was still he was a sergeant, and he hated all the Raider games because they all got called for extra
Mhm.
security, which meant he was away from the house. So even my
Yeah,
dad
that's
hated
another
it.
thing. All right.
Well, it's
We
we
already
already
can't-
Inglewood now.
They already have to have extra security every time the Raiders and the Niners play.
Yeah.
I don't even want to see what it's going to look like now that it's saying, and they're not even in the same division. And now we're going to say Raiders and then St. Louis fans. St. Louis fans are going to get their asses kicked.
Yeah,
It's not smart. You might as well open up a brand new franchise. Put a stadium in LA. Put a stadium in Virginia. Whatever. All right?
Alaska, Fairbanks,
No,
the Yetis, the Fairbanks
that
Yetis.
is that's the year-round frozen tundra. Now,
I think if you're smart, the next franchise goes to Toronto.
they're better off. I no, because the Canada will never vote for it because that'll take away from the CFL.
They don't care. It'll make them a lot more money in tax
And
dollars.
that'll never go.
Oh, it'll go.
Dude, they just tried to move the Bills to Toronto, and Toronto turned it
No,
down.
the Bills fought back on that. Buffalo did, not the fans. But
It was
I
voted
think
because they didn't have the following, and they knew they wouldn't have the following up there.
no, they would. They sold out those games when the Bills played there.
I
You
love
remember
his
when they used to
business
do that?
sense. No, they'll do it. I don't have any numbers to prove it, but
Well,
they'll make millions.
Do you remember when the Bills played those games up there? They would always sell out.
Yeah, because it's a one-time thing. It's the same thing when teams go to the. Do you really think we have that many NFL fans in Europe to pack Wembley Stadium
Yes,
week after
they
week
do.
after week? Yeah, but they're not all just fans of those teams. All right, we only go over there 2 to 3 times a year.
That's
Of course
where
it's
you're.
gonna be
That's
packed.
where you're wrong, though.
That's why when Manchester United comes here to play an exhibition, the place is freaking packed.
Yeah, but that's why you're wrong. You think that it's got to be season ticket holders and fans of the teams. It doesn't matter who goes to the game as long as you sell the ticket.
But they're not going to spend that week after week after week after week. That's like taking your family to Disney World every single weekend.
Well, that's what the NFL wants to do in London is they want to get 8 games over there.
But they've been
different
talking
teams.
about that since 2000. It's been
Right.
15 years.
And they're up to 4 now.
Wow. 4. Okay, so in 30 years, we might be up to 10.
Right.
Give me a
That would be
break.
10 games over there, and you don't think every one of those will sell out?
No.
I think
I
you're
think
crazy.
they'll get watered down, and I think that the traditionalists will move it out. First
I
off, they
disagree.
can't because the stadium that they use is mostly used for soccer, and the NFL games will completely screw up that field. That's why they only do it sometimes. They'll have to build a whole new stadium and everything.
Do you have any idea how many soccer stadiums are in London?
Yeah, but how many can fit as many people? That's why they only.
There's a
Wembley is the
lot of
largest
soccer
one,
stadiums.
though.
Wembley's a big one. There's a lot of them. Chelsea has a big stadium. Everton has a good sized stadium. Tottenham has a good sized stadium. You can rotate it, and then they don't play every weekend in soccer either. They have like this weekend they're off for Champions League, so no teams are playing this weekend. Plus they have away games. You can make it work.
If they move the Rams to LA, it'll be one of the biggest mistakes in NFL history. I would give them 5 years max.
You realize that the Jaguars, when we were doing the attendance, were not dead last because of those games in London last year. Because they sold out every one of those games.
How many? They only played like one game last year.
They played
They
two.
played 2.
Was it 2?
Yeah.
And that stadium's
Yeah,
bigger than
but
theirs.
that's the thing though. One of them, they weren't even the home team. They weren't even announced as the home team. They just went over there.
No, they had
No,
you're right.
They were home for one of them, and they were away for the other.
So that one game sellout made them not the lowest in the league.
Okay, but still horrible.
Still, though, if you're an owner of a team and you want to make money, you've got to go where you can sell tickets. I don't think you can ever put a team there full time because no players are going to go want to live in London for 20 weeks of the year, 30 weeks of the year for football season. I just don't think that's going to happen.
Getting back to the LA, you're watering down the market. You're severely watering down the market by putting a 4th team in California? Seriously?
Yes. San Fran, Oakland, the Chargers,
And then
Rams.
4 hours to the east is Arizona, and what about 7 hours north?
I don't understand why the NFL doesn't expand. There's obviously room for it.
Just more teams are like expanding into Europe.
more teams.
I don't know.
They want to
if
add
they can right now.
They want to add another game. They want to add another playoff round.
Playoff.
Why don't you add another team,
Well, where
another
would you
set of
put
2
'em?
teams? You'd be in mid-market at this point because everywhere's sold out.
Not everything's sold out.
It'd have to be, I would say, in the Midwest,
Midwest.
probably, or Canada, Toronto. I think Toronto is a
You
spot.
get out of Canada. We're not.
No,
we're not
Toronto
building
would be
team
a
in
great
Canada.
spot. Natural rivalry with Buffalo and the Jets.
That means you have to have 5 teams in the East.
Well, you can put them in wherever. You're gonna have to realign the whole thing anyway. That's a whole other topic.
Yeah, but you can't have 17 teams.
You would
on
take
one
the
side
you would
and
take the
17 on the
Dolphins
other.
out because they're the furthest to travel.
It's still the East Coast.
But I'm saying that's the team that would move out if you're doing it. But regardless, I think
That makes no
Toronto's your
sense
spot.
because Oakland's in the same place as Kansas City in the same one, and it takes longer to fly from Kansas City than it does from Miami to Toronto.
Yeah, but it doesn't make sense because then you have the AFC South, which is Jacksonville.
That's in the South.
Jacksonville and Miami are not closer.
No, you don't want to do that.
But anyway,
You don't want to do that
back to the
because you got
point.
Tampa Bay there too.
I think Toronto's your spot for one of them, and LA would be your other
we're
one.
not going to Canada.
The
reason-
Raptors
look,
are working.
So the Blue Jays.
basketball, really? The Raptors are barely
The Blue
working.
Jays.
But the Blue Jays do well.
The Blue Jays suck.
The Blue Jays have been there for a long
just
time.
by
Right, but
numbers.
they've been there for a while. Why do you think the NFL is looking at England and not Canada? Wouldn't it be easier to fly 2 hours north instead of flying 20?
I think it's more that Buffalo's fighting it than it is that they don't
No.
want a team there.
Canada's pretty big. I don't know if you know this. It's not just Toronto up there.
Right, but that's the biggest city. That's equivalent
Edmonton's
to New York.
pretty big too.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Not-
it is.
It's not.
Have you ever
Toronto's
been to Edmonton?
Toronto's equivalent to New York.
I've been to Edmonton. Edmonton's huge.
It's also covered in snow.
Toronto's not.
No, it's not.
Oh my
It's a
god,
city.
dude.
It's snow, but it's an
Can we
actual
move on?
city.
He's just starting to say bullshit now.
I think you're crazy if you don't see that as a viable option.
It's
Where would
not.
you put it then if you're not going to put it in Toronto?
You wouldn't put it anywhere in Canada.
Well, then where would you put it in the U.S.?
That's what I'm saying. If this was a viable option, don't you think that the NFL would have already thought about this? And instead of going to London, they just would have went a couple hours north instead of 20 hours?
No, because of the European dollar is more valuable.
Oh my god.
The euro is more valuable.
Healthcare is more affordable.
The Canadian dollar is less. It's like 80 cents to a U.S. dollar
Well, then there you go.
versus the euro, which
He's
is like
making my point for
180.
me. He's
That's why they're
making my
going to
point
London.
for me, which is why you will not go to Canada.
I think if you're going to pick a spot, it's a viable market.
No, it's not.
But I don't think Buffalo will allow it.
Yeah, no.
Because if you're winning in Toronto,
First
and
off,
Buffalo sucks,
Buffalo
what are you
doesn't
going to
have
do?
they have nothing to stand on that says we can control what the NFL does. They have nothing to stand on.
But you got to think about it this way. If you have a team in Buffalo and they suck and a team in Toronto and they win, you can drive an hour and a half to Toronto to go watch a winner.
Yeah, but there's already 3 teams nearby. I mean, shit, within driving distance of Buffalo, there's like 8 NFL teams.
I don't know if Buffalo is still a market that's viable, but that's a whole other topic.
They actually did pretty good last year at 9-7. We're not going to Canada. Plain and simple.
I don't know why you hate Canada. They're our friends.
Yeah. Can we get that Blame Canada song going on right about now? That'd be great.
They are at our back. WW2.
And WW2.
Yeah, way back. Moving on. What's the next topic?
It's time for a
Actually, I
break.
think we need
Is
to
it time for a break? Let's go ahead and take a break.
Go borrow some plants.
The one guy that wanted to stay on.
Everyone's going to need an attorney at some point in their life. I'm no different. Hey, everyone, it's James from Vets On. Whether it was my last will and testament before deployment or my ongoing custody battle for my children during my divorce, I needed help, so I lawyered up. If you need help, I urge you to contact Capstrom Law Firm. Capstrom Law Firm in Springfield, Missouri services clients throughout the state in criminal law, personal injury, and family law. With over 13 years practicing law, Tom Capstrom understands both law and court procedures